Welcome to Bruins Overtime Live, presented by BuyAToyota.com. For offers not seen on TV, visit BuyAToyota.com. Adam Pellerin, Barry Peterson here with you. Bruins losing overtime. 3-2 your final here to the Ottawa Senators at TD Garden. Barry, at the 15:53 mark of the second period, David Pastrnak had a shot on goal. The Bruins didn't have another shot on goal until 13 seconds into overtime. Elias Lindholm. One shot on goal in almost 25 minutes of play.
Yeah, it was that third period, I think, was all set up by that really poor power play late in the second period. And they were outshot 12-0 in the third period. Just looked very listless. You couldn't get any forechecking going. It was one into the zone and then right back out again. By far and away, the Bruins' best player was Swayman. He had to keep them in the hockey game. Giveaways, 21-15. Face-offs, you won 26% of your face-offs. And again, you lost the specialty team battle. At home, a divisional game. When you had an opportunity, it looked like you're kind of getting some momentum here in the schedule. You come into the game, you won 3 of 4. You had a chance to get above 500.
Feels like we've said that more than once this season.
This is the third or fourth.
Building
yes.
off of a win. You're hoping it carries over to the next game, and hasn't quite happened yet. Although they did get a point out of this, and it feels, Barry, after that third period, they're fortunate to have gotten a point out of it.
Well, as like Brick had said late in that period, it's like we don't deserve a point right now, but we'll take it because we just did not have any offense generation at all in that third period.
This game nearly ended before Brady Tkachuk's game-winning goal. Josh Norris had an opportunity off the face-off. Jeremy Swayman up to the task. And then on the other end, Elias Lindholm with an opportunity. Bruins had a 2-on-1, but then it's the Sens coming back the other way, and it's Brady Tkachuk to close it.
Well, to your point here, here's Norris right off the face-off. He gets a great opportunity as he gets this rebound from Tkachuk, and it's a huge save by Swayman. And then come down the other way. And Lindholm opens up here in a nice pass, but what a huge, huge save by Ullmark as he comes flying across the first shot in 24 and a half minutes. Now here comes Brady Tkachuk on a 2-on-1. He just beats Swayman to the far side off the post on a 2-on-1. So a great save on one end, and you come back and in overtime, Tkachuk ends it. But this was just too easy. Right off the bat, you get possession, you get the Bruins back on their heels. Makes one big save, but boy, what a save by Ullmark right here. I mean, Lindholm has opened up. He gets good wood on it too, but Ullmark anticipated, came all the way across, and now it's a 2-on-1. Marchand's trying to get back. Tkachuk uses him as a decoy.
And so that's how it ends in overtime. Brady Tkachuk with his 8th goal of the year, first game-winning goal of the year. The Senators now 2-0. In overtime this year. Meanwhile, we talked about the Bruins in the third period, outshot 12-0, and you mentioned it earlier, a lot of one and done.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities. When you're trying to get the forechecking game going, you've got to dump it to areas where you have a chance to get it, or at least you can put it to get Ottawa back. They don't. They put it into traffic, and then all of a sudden Ottawa is able to get possession of the puck and turn it over and go the other way. There was just no sustained action whatsoever by the Bruins that period. Here you're coming down, you got a little bit of a change, you got some action going. Now all of a sudden Ottawa gets back, and here they come the other way again. So just no shots on goal. The Bruins, even in the second period, Adam, had a 2-on-1 and a 3-on-1 and had 0 shots to show for them. And here we're just showing the listlessness of the Bruins' opportunities, just not generating any forecheck, any energy. And the crowd was just basically put to sleep because there was just no energy being generated, no excitement whatsoever. You could just see it's like, okay, we got one, you have a chance, and now all of a sudden, bang, here we go again the other way. Just no sustaining of any type of forecheck.
I think he had a shot, hit the crossbar, another shot was close to getting to net. Barry, October 18th, 2003 was the last time the Bruins didn't have a shot on goal in the period. It was also a third period.
Yeah.
But it was a Bruins win. It was Patrice Bergeron's 5th career game and his first career goal against the LA Kings.
The third period's becoming a problem for this hockey club as well. Not only not generating offense, not being able to hold on to a lead, not putting teams away when you have the opportunity.
Man, but not being able to come back either, because now the Bruins are 0-5 when trailing after the first period. There's only 8 teams in the NHL that can say that. So the Bruins did have a 2-1 lead in the second period, but we had talked about it in intermission, a breakdown. Some of those details you've been talking about for the Bruins led to the Senators' goal.
Yeah, this one here was a bad change. You're going to see right now. Look at Bruins are getting caught over there high. Now all of a sudden it's a 3-on-2. Defense got it back in, and Amadio just uses them as a screen. But on this angle right here is good. You're going to see the Bruins go for a change, and this whole side of this rink is going to be wide open. As you can see the blue, look at all the chains. Look at Ottawa. They're getting speed going now. You're trying to say to your defense, hey, you got to stand up. They can't stand up when it's a 3-on-2 or 4-on-2. And Amadio just uses them here as a decoy as all the guys are cutting in front of Swayman. He can't even really see it. But look how far back they are. They're below the tops of the circles by the time the Bruins forwards get back into the picture on a back check.
So that's how the Senators tied the game at 2. They eventually win in overtime 3-2. The Bruins were able to take a 2-1 lead as Brad Marchand is able to find the back of the net once again, his 5th of the year, Barry.
Yeah, this felt like 15 seconds after you tied it up, you're able to get some momentum going here. A good job forechecking. Lindholm does a good job on his pitch, comes down the wall, takes it to the net. Brazo does a great job of winning a battle and gets it across to Marchand to give the Bruins that 2-1 lead. You're thinking, okay, we just scored that with 15 seconds. We got some momentum going here. Good job by Brazo. And then there's Lindholm's pinch. Brazo doesn't stop in the corner, gets back out in front and gets it across to Marchand. But right there you're going, okay, now you got some momentum. Now it feels like, okay, the Bruins are going to be able to finish this period. You know, and Brick said it with about 4 minutes left to go. Hey, this is an important 4 minutes. We got a 2-1 lead. You got to make sure you can hang on to it and take some momentum into the third period. But we showed how Ottawa came back and got all that momentum.
Take a look at Brad Marchand. First 8 games this season, no goals, 4 assists. Last 8 games, 5 goals, 3 assists for the captain. Had the overtime game winner against the Calgary Flames. And so the Bruins not able to find the back of the net after that. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jeremy Swayman was outstanding. Like you said, his best player. Veteran netminder is presented by VA New England. As you take a look at the numbers for Jeremy Swayman over his last 2 starts, and you can see allowing the 3 power play goals last time out against the Maple Leafs. Tonight, allowing 3 goals, but making some great saves in the process.
He gave his team a chance to try and steal a couple of points out of here when they really didn't earn it, especially in that third period when you're outshot 12-0. And you're outshot in the game 34-16. I mean, on home ice, you're not able to generate anything. And the younger Ottawa team, I thought, was taking it to you, and you were back on your heels. They were showing the life, but Swayman was doing a great job of making saves, controlling rebounds. Ottawa just controlled the whole pace of play, especially right in front of him. He had to make 3 or 4 real good saves. You know, when Tkachuk standing like here in the slot, they're deflecting pucks. He was spectacular, and as we said before the game, Adam, when we were doing the pregame, we said it would be nice for Swayman to not have to be the number 1 star to win a hockey game. He was the Bruins' best player and got him a point.
Yeah, and also think back to that power play goal at the end of the first period, too, with 8 seconds to go, right? Instead of going into the first period scoreless, you have to come from behind again. And as we pointed out, the Bruins not able to do that after trailing after the first period this year. Now 0-5 on the year in the third period. While the Senators didn't score, Barry, we talked about the Bruins, no shots on goal. This year, the Bruins have been outscored 16-5 in the third period. They've scored 5 third period goals this year. They've only scored 1 third period goal at home in 9 games this year.
No, and you think about, in years past when the Bruins are on top of their game, they own this building and they own the third period, right? They're usually the latter part of the hockey game. The Bruins take control. They find ways to win. But right now they are in a bad spot, and it's just, if it wasn't for Swayman, this game would have been over earlier.
Yeah, that was the storyline going into the game, right? The goaltenders, Jeremy Swayman versus Linus Ullmark, reunited but on opposite ends of the ice. We showed you pregame, during the warm-up. little goalie hug. They took a picture together, and then they went to get to work. And in terms of Linus Ullmark's performance tonight, I mean, he was good. He made the big save in overtime, but again, didn't face a lot of shots. And you're thinking too, Barry, it's just like, all right, well, you know what? You don't face any shots on net for 24 minutes. You might be a little cold. Bruins might be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, but as we know, Ullmark goes in the dressing room afterwards and says, hey, boys, thank you. I only had 16 shots against the entire game. You guys did your job. I had to make one big save there in overtime on Elias Lindholm, but for the most part, I had a pretty quiet night.
Had a pretty quiet night indeed. And so the Senators, again, a team that was 1-5 on the year on the road, is able to get their second win, and Brady Tkachuk had the game winner 21 seconds into overtime. We have more to come here on Bruins Overtime Live. We'll get player reaction, and Andy Brickley